Hey family, how's everyone doing today? I just wanted to come back on here to continue Writing 101. So, you want to learn how to write, and I am here to help you with that. I'm wearing my new microphone, so I'm very excited. As we talked about in our last few videos, this is the Coffee with You journal, and this journal is a motivational journal for you to write about anything your heart's desire. It starts off with a little encouragement that says you deserve to be served. Okay. Then there are approximately 121 pages, and it looks like this. And the reason why I decided to keep it blank is because I want you to feel free to write whatever you want, whatever that comes to your mind. It could be a list of the things that you want to do in your life, like your goals. You might want to talk about all the things that you love about yourself, which we talked about in our previous video. So this journal is for anyone who just needs a little motivation, or at least a reminder that you matter and that you are special. I'm going to refer to my copy, which is not the most beautiful one. This is the one that I received when I was just checking to make sure there weren't any mistakes or anything. And so for this lesson I drew something that looks like this. And it says, what do I want to write about? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go to our whiteboard right here. Okay. Okay, my friends, just as a reminder, if you're interested in the Coffee with You journal or any of my books, this is the link you can check out. The link is in my bio. And today we're going to talk about Bubble Map. This is part 3 to the Writing 101 series. And Bubble Map is a map that we use to brainstorm. Now, what does brainstorm mean? Brainstorm means to think of ideas of something that you want to write about. Now, there are no right or wrong answers. It's just an opportunity for you to write down your ideas. And we're going to do this together. One of the ways to help you start the writing process is to think about the things that you think you would like to write about. And this can change over time. Think of the things you want to write about. So let's do this activity together. Okay, so let's say you are interested in writing about yourself. You can simply write. And you might be wondering, why would I want to write about myself? Well, maybe there's a story you would like to share. Maybe you had an experience that was really a good one or a bad one that you would like to share. Maybe it's something about you that can help someone else, something motivational. So writing about yourself, honestly, is a great start to this process. Let's say you're not interested in writing about yourself. You are a teacher like myself, and you're thinking, I want to write something educational. Education, okay? Now, again, this is a very broad topic. We can always narrow it down over time, but it's just giving you the idea that you want to write something that's based on education, okay? Now, let's say you are interested in food. Maybe you are a cook or you love to go out to eat, but you know food is something that you absolutely love to talk about. Maybe you want to write about food, okay? And again, these are just ideas. Now the last one. Now let's say you get to this part and you're like, I don't know, Dara. I have no idea. Then leave it alone. So you don't have to fill up the whole bubble map. I just use 4 bubbles as an example, but yours could look very different. It could be bigger or smaller. Now, this is very important. As you are looking at your bubble map, this is where you start the process of making some decisions. Let's start with the easy one. You want to talk about yourself. So think about what it is about you that you want to talk about. It could be your life story. It could be an experience that you had. It could be a lesson that you've learned. You don't have to write your whole story if you don't want to. It could just be a small part of your story that you want people to know. Let's look at education. Again, this is a very broad topic. So maybe for this one, you want to talk about something a little more specific. Let's say you're a teacher and you want to talk about your experience teaching English or teaching math. Maybe you want to talk about the students that you work with, whether they were elementary school students, high school, college, or maybe they were just adult learners. Or maybe you want to talk about education from an academic standpoint. You know, the history of education. How did it start? It's all up to you. Now let's look at food. Now, me personally, this is a favorite topic of mine because I absolutely love food. Yes, I'm not ashamed to admit, but this isn't about me. Now with food, there are many ways you can go about this. You might decide to write a picture book. Yes, maybe you go out to different restaurants and you take pictures of food. This is a personal hobby of mine. And you might decide, hey, I want to create a picture book of all the delicious food that I've eaten, whether it's street food, at restaurants, at street fairs, whatever it is. Or you might want to talk about a certain type of food, or you want to write a book of recipes that maybe your mom or your grandma taught you. It could be anything. You don't have to come up with ideas right away. You can leave this just as it is, or you might want to focus on yourself, education, or food. But remember, these are just ideas and they can always change over time. So I want everyone to start with very general ideas, okay? You don't have to write any outlines. You don't have to know exactly what you want to talk about. You just want to put it down on paper. And this is where you want to write something, whether it's poetry, whether it's short stories, whether it's, again, something specific like your personal life or food or anything like that. So I would highly, highly recommend, and I just use this as an example, I would highly recommend that you write a bubble map in your Coffee with You journal. Yes, I certainly would. What do I want to write about? And this is a question that you want to ask yourself. This is only for you. You do not have to share this with anybody unless you want to, okay? You don't have to have all the answers. Even if you write down one idea, that's it. For me personally, I did not expect to write books. Okay, I wrote my first book back in from 2014 to 2017, and I published it in October of that year. And it was just my personal story. I was satisfied, I was happy, and I was done. And then soon after, I decided to write my very first ESL book, which took a year to do because I had no idea how to write an educational book. But I was so happy that I was able to do that, and it took time. Don't get me wrong, and I was so inspired that so many books later, 7 ESL books, my Coffee with You journal, my personal story. So 9 books in total, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Just because you start out with some ideas, don't feel discouraged that, oh no, it's going to be too much. I don't know how I'm going to get started. I don't know what to do. Don't fret, okay? Because this is how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I started, and this is how a lot of authors start. Some people know what they want to write, but they just start and then they just kind of, go through the process in their own way. And there are some people who want to write, but they don't know how to get started. This is the easiest way to start, but the key is to start. Have your Coffee with You journal, have a notepad, have something to write with, okay? And I promise you, the more you think about it and you write down your ideas and your notes, that's when it's all going to come together. And then you'll be able to sit down comfortably. And if you want to type it or write it down, whatever you choose, but it will be such a good feeling to know that now you're about to write your own book. And I'm so excited for you. I hope this video helps you. I hope that this encourages you to start in your writing journey. If you would like me to continue these videos, please let me know. If you have any specific questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to help. Love you all so much. Always try your best, and I'll see you in the next video.